Welcome to Make It Happen Monday, your weekly dose from the Healthy Living School. I consider my morning routine the most pivotal part of my daily health regimen, and by far the single most powerful investment I make for my mental and cognitive health. And this routine is the perfect example of successful habit stacking, an invaluable tactic for succeeding with creating a healthy lifestyle that becomes part of you. So what is habit stacking? I'm going to tell you that first, and then I'll tell you sort of what my latest morning routine is. So with habit stacking, as the name sort of suggests, all you're doing is you are attaching a new habit or habits to one that is already pre-existing, right? So for me, and for most people, I think, we do wake up in the morning. I wake up, I make up my bed, and then the next literally 2.5 hours is one habit stack over the other. And again, so all you're doing with habit stacking is trying to attach new habits you're hoping to develop in your life is the norm to pre-existing, already established habits. Okay, and with that, I thought, let me share my morning routine, this sort of series of successive habits with you, because I know it is absolutely at the foundation of my success with health and the quality of my life. And what I'm going to do is run through my standard weekday, because it shifts a little bit on the weekend. And so my alarm clock goes off at 5:20. I pop right out of the bed. I generally feel relatively rested, and I make my bed up. Then my husband, meanwhile, is kind of getting the coffee brewing. I venture downstairs. The coffee's still brewing. I use that opportunity to drink a pint of water. The coffee's ready. I pour my black coffee. I have about a pint, and it's actually half calf. We do pour overs. We're kind of coffee snobs, really picky about the taste of our coffee. My husband and I sit together quietly. It's still dark outside, and we're both reading. We're not talking. I will then, as I sip my coffee, believe it or not, I know the importance of grip strength. I should do it and Make It Happen Monday on that sometime, because we see that grip strength is a very reliable proxy for cognitive health. And researchers think it's a two-way street, meaning as cognitive health diminishes, your grip strength diminishes, and vice versa. So you have control over the latter. And so I keep, one of those little grip strength muscle exerciser things just literally right there where I have my coffee, and I do 3 rounds of 25 on both hands as I'm kind of sipping that morning coffee. And then I'm starting to wake up. Then it's time to do, and that's about 15 minutes maybe. Then I shift into spiritual reading. I'm usually reading scripture, but sometimes I'm reading from spiritually based books, and I might do that about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to slip away in my own little private room, and then my husband has his own little private room where I then do my breath work, meditation, and regular prayer. I start with breath work, and I do about, on the weekdays, anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes of a very, very intentional, super focused, somewhat vigorous breathing practice, which then sets the stage for the next thing I do, which is my morning meditation. And I'm a longtime practitioner of centering prayer. And, think of it sort of as Christian-based meditation, and the whole purpose of centering prayer is doing nothing but sitting in divine union with Christ or God. And I do that for about 10 or 15 minutes, again, after this 10 minutes of breath work. Then I transition from my centering prayer to something that I've very recently incorporated into my morning routine, which I am absolutely loving, and it's given me extraordinary peace and purpose, and that is that I'm doing healing prayer for other people and really focusing on moving divine energy. And I will do that anywhere from 20, sometimes I go up to an hour. I do it very intuitively. Again, it's very purposeful. I know exactly who I'm praying for, and it's usually people, and they're usually aware that I'm doing this. Then I finish that, then slip into about 5 minutes of healing prayer for myself. I'm basically envisioning this wonderful golden healing light coming into my body, and I'm circulating that all around. And then after that, it's time to get my eyeballs outside. It's usually around 7:15, 7:20 by then, because I know the importance of getting the eyeballs out in that early morning light for helping improve and train and strengthen the circadian rhythm, which just has massive impacts all over. I get my eyeballs outside by taking a quick walk down the High Battery, usually without shoes because I'm trying to ground, right? It's another great daily habit, making sure you're taking in the energy that's coming directly from the earth into your body. Typically no shoes on unless it gets really freezing. And I walk about 10 minutes, it's usually enough. Sometimes it's 15 if it's overcast. Come back home, and then it's time to do my morning exercise regimen. And I have different things that I do, right? So some mornings I'm going to run or jog. Some mornings I'm going to go for a long walk. Some mornings I'm going to get on the Peloton and usually do high intensity interval work. That's what I love to use the Peloton for. And then a couple of days a week, that morning regimen shifts because I wake up and I go to 6:15 yoga. I do that twice a week. And when I'm on a yoga day, I'm actually drinking my coffee on the way as I drive to yoga. And then otherwise, when I get back from yoga, I pick right back up with the regimen, starting with some spiritual reading, and then my breath work, and then my centering prayer, and then my healing prayer. By the time that's said and done, whether I go to yoga or not, once I've done all of those things, which is about 9 or 10 great habits if you really count them through, 9:30, 10, that's when I break my fast, right? I usually have my first feeding of the day, and that's going to be my biggest feeding of the day. And I'm usually having dinner leftovers, and then I start my workday. Oh, and I wanted to use this opportunity to point out the power of doing what I call quiet interior work and helping your body begin the day restored. And up on the screen, you're going to see just screenshots I took depicting what is happening to my state of inner relaxation. Is going to the deepest state of restoration that the Oura Ring can measure. I mean, I'm convinced if it could measure lower, they would see it. So you can see on the screen, there are 4 days, and you see circled there, that restored point, that is when I'm in this, morning centering prayer, healing prayer. And the point I'm trying to make there is how anyone can learn to, at will, very quickly, it is a practice, but very quickly to bring yourself into this extraordinary state of peacefulness and equanimity. And you're seeing from this Oura Ring the power of that simple practice, and what a great way to begin the day. Anyway, so I share that in hopes that it may inspire you and educate you and motivate you to kind of create a morning that includes some element of interior work along with some movement too. So thank you.